How we doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. I was excited for this.
Nice hat. Perfect.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What's going on, man? Where are you from?
Nothing much. I'm from Washington, like just outside Seattle. I
Okay.
go to school. I'm at I'm in college. I go to school in Pullman. It's like the way eastern side of the state. It's like right next to Idaho.
Okay.
Super small town.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean we can pretty much dive into like whatever you wanna talk about. Let's roll.
I don't really know. I was trying to like I'm just writing down. I was writing down a few like questions I wanted to ask and whatnot, but I just
Yeah.
I really know nothing. I have a few things in mind, but I just thought it was kind of a cool opportunity that like you did all these like meetings and whatnot. Like when I went to sign up for mine like a month ago or whatever, like I was like scrolling all the way down. I was like, wow, it's really cool. I like give the time to like sit down and chat with people.
Yeah.
I think let me see, what did I even write down here? Oh, that was the first time I was gonna start. It was like, what's like your school background and like what did university and everything look like for you?
In terms of education,
Yeah,
so I mean in college I got a degree in exercise science.
yeah,
Um, I mean it was, to be straight up, is like 50 years behind anything that I would consider valuable or useful.
no, yeah,
So
that's
you
kind of
know,
what I feel like now being out here, especially at like the school I'm at, like, like it's kind of like an ag slash like engineering school. And like everything else is kind of just feels like, there's university just kind of like trying to keep a staff. It's like hard to keep them out. I think 70% of this town is college kids. It's a
okay.
tiny town. It's like the most rural campus in the entire country. So
Well,
yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I just kind of
what
want
are
to
you going
know
to
what
school for?
I'm doing human biology right now. I was gonna try to become a chiropractor like my dad, but I don't know. It's kind of I've hopped in and out. Like initially, I wanted to play college basketball. I played JUCO for the summer coming out of high school, but I graduated in 21, and then it was COVID and whatnot. I had no idea what I wanted to do. Was just messing around at a gym one time, and then my buddy's coach like came up to me. He's like, "Where are you like playing at?" And I was like, "Oh, nowhere. Like I just graduated. Like I'm just gonna do community college." He's like, "Oh, you should come like try out for us." Went over there, played for like 2 months, and then the day before practice started, I was like, "Bro, what am I doing? Like this is not." I don't know. I didn't know what I thought it was gonna be, but this isn't it. And like I ended up just taking a gap year. I really didn't know what I was gonna do, but like my parents were both college educated. They're like, dude, you gotta like go to school, dude. Like, what are you doing? They were kind of already frustrated that I dropped to and all that stuff. So I came out here, kind of like wasted all my money out here. I'm from a big family. I'm kind of like paying for everything by myself.
Wait, you
It's
just
like a
dropped
year
a
and a
bunch of
half.
cash
I'm like,
somewhere?
what?
You just dropped a bunch of cash somewhere?
Yeah, I know. I was like, damn, I just wasted all my money, left, and then I came back this semester. So most kids my age are graduating this year, but I only have like 2.5 years done. And I just like, I don't know. I'm in a weird in between. I feel like cause like hypothetically say I go be a chiropractor and whatnot, like, I don't know. It's a weird profession. It's like a lot of it's like just foo science and whatnot and like spinal manipulation and everything. Everyone knows like there's not a whole lot to it. What I would do is try to like there's this extra certification you can do, like because it's like called ART. It's like basically like all soft tissue stuff. But that would be so you go to school for 3 years and you get out and then you pay to do that. And that's like another like 9 to 10 months. And then I'm like what 28, 29, just with like $200,000 in debt. I'm like, bro, what am I doing? I don't
So, so
know.
what? So, but what do you actually want to do? You want to work with people in a physical sense, or like what is it that?
I think that is because like I see what my dad does. He's like that's the guy like I want to be. Like he's just like a monster. Like he's like 6'4", just like everything any dude would ever want to be. Like just this guy. He's a people person. He actually helps people. He's not like he doesn't really like he knows how much like 90% of the chiropractic field is just charging the insurance. Like come back 3 times a week. Like I'm gonna crack your back, crack your neck. Like get your insurance money from you. Like he's more on the what I would want to do, which is like all the soft tissue stuff, help people recover from like actual injuries. But at the same time, I don't know if like I don't know if doing it the way he did it is even like a path now. Like he was like when he got out and did all his stuff, like insurance was different, like before Obamacare and all that, and like just it was a completely different world. Like when I talk to him about it now, he's like, yeah, like if that's what you want to do it. Just know it's not the profession that I went into isn't necessarily the same thing that you're stepping into now with how like things work in healthcare and whatnot. So no, it's weird. I just turned 22 and I'm just like kind of all over the place, but try to hold it down.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I can only give my perspective of,
Yeah.
like I'm there's different routes to go, right? For me, I don't have any certifications. I don't have any licenses. Like, I don't have any of that, and that's kind of
Yeah.
because I don't want to be governed by a licensing body,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very much on purpose. Like, even though let's say the normal individual comes out and they're looking for some type of training or rehab or whatever it is, they're gonna just be sent somewhere because that place, like let's say it's a physical therapy place or a chiropractic place, that place has a
Mm-hmm.
connection with the doctor or whatever, and that's usually where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
I just knew for myself I didn't necessarily want to work with. I don't want to say like I didn't want to work with those individuals, but like I want to work with people that are choosing on purpose to work with me
Not go that route. Yeah.
because they already know like what the deal is, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not trying to convince anybody to do it. I'm not trying to
They
like,
want what you actually have to offer, not just the security of
oh, he's
the
a Peters
certification.
or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. And
because
I feel like that's something that could definitely go into. But like, like starting out being like a personal trainer, like doing rehab and all that stuff, it starts out slow. You kind of got to snowball.
yeah, I mean, dude, for me it was like the first iteration of my business. It probably took me what from 2017 to 2021 or 20. It probably took me like 4 or 5 years before I started like making anything real.
Yeah.
So and it doesn't have to take that long. Maybe I'm just an idiot,
I know, but
but
there's a part about like carving your own path and like having your own experiences that like makes what you have what you have.
well, yeah, because it's like then once you get it, you're kind of like, okay, I know how I did it. I know that I could do it again, kind of regardless of what the specific vertical is. It's like if you
Yeah.
understand what the process is, then you know how to you know how to build that. You know how to communicate with people. You know how to get across whatever it is that you want to get across. There's definitely benefit there, and I think there's probably somewhat of a higher top end there. It just takes longer to get off the ground at the start.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's do you follow like Austin Jochum on social
Joachim?
media or thing? Jochum, yeah. His stuff like I like hearing him talk about it, like sleeping on his gym floor. It took him like 4 years to like build what he had and whatnot. It's like it's cool. And it is like I don't know, like being in the situation I am, I'm like, damn, like I've done everything but like kind of like be consistent and like stick to like one thing. So it's like I don't know. I'm just yeah. It's weird. It's a weird spot to be in. It's a weird spot to be in.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you got to commit. You got to commit to something.
Yeah, you can't just float, or else
Yeah,
you're really
right.
gonna screw yourself.
Because you'll figure out what you actually want to do. Because for me, when I first started getting into it, I was like, I would love to have a facility where I was there at the facility and I was like the one training people there, right?
Yeah.
And then in 2019, I was at a physical training facility and on the floor training people every day. And I was like, I'm not opposed to having a training facility, but I was like, I don't want to be the one that's on the floor training the people like
Yeah.
8 hours a day.
Is it wrong to assume that just gets really repetitive?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely good parts to it. I'm not going to say that everything is bad, but it depends on the specific person. Like for me personally,
Yeah.
I love, I like creating and expanding. I don't necessarily like doing the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
And I think, like me being able to explore and then kind of flesh out new ideas and grow the actual, I guess I consider like the technology of what it is that I have, how I implement things, how I train people. If I'm like on a floor training people every day, I don't necessarily have the time to do that. And so that's where there's just like different roles for different people, within each business or whatever. And I realized that like, that's not something that I would personally want to do for a long period of time. But I didn't know that until I actually did it.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to like confirm it for yourself by doing it.
Yeah. Because I thought I wanted to do that before.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the online stuff now that you do, like, how does that work necessarily? Like, how many people are you seeing a day? Like, what kind of access do the people have to you? Like, how do you kind of run that?
Yeah, so it'll be, I mean, so basically like when someone, it depends on what level they're at. Like if we go with one-on-ones,
Mm-hmm.
those are the individuals that have like basic full access. So it'll be, I'll do a call with them initially, like a 60-minute call with them initially. And then after that, it's daily communication, usually through text or through, also just like the app that I use for training where they upload videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mostly text back and forth, sometimes voice messages, sometimes short videos if there's like specific issues that they're having through text. And then if we need to set up like another call at some point for some bigger issue, then we will. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, I mean, that's basically what it looks like, where it's like the initial call. And then after that, it's kind of day to day when I'm writing the program for them. I'm looking at any feedback that they had, videos they dropped in, any questions they have in text, responding back to those. And that's basically like the daily cycle of how that goes.
And like, when you get someone in, like, how long are you expecting to work with them?
I don't, as long as they want to.
As long as they want to.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll have guys that go, I've had guys that have been training for like 3 years, like all the way from that down to, some guys would go like 1 or 2 months. Obviously
Yeah.
I prefer the longer,
Yeah. Get
just
the
because like,
text, have a
yeah,
connection and whatnot.
yeah. I mean, it's tough when there's like 1 month and then it's gone because you can create some change in a month, but you're not really going
Mm-hmm.
to start to compound things or compile things in a month.
Yeah. And like, does most of your stuff start out like it's pretty much all rehab? No? Yes, no? What is that?
In terms of people starting,
Yeah. Like, do they come to you to start like rehab and then they like you so they stick around or like,
yeah. So I would say probably 60-70% of the new clients that I get are for rehab for something
mm-hmm.
specific. Maybe more than that. Maybe like 40 to 50% are probably like major injuries or surgeries, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe another 30% are like they have some type of, I don't know, tweak or they have some issue that's going on, but it's not like they just had Tommy John or they just had a major injury.
Yeah.
And then the rest are, fully healthy dudes that just want to get after it. But a lot of times those guys are going on the better programming because they're not necessarily looking for like the one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then for what you do, like, what do you like? Are you like, what do you want to grow this into, or do you just want to be like the internet online like training dude? Like, what is
No.
like what's your idea? Like, when you look down, it's like we're all like ultimately gonna be working for the next like majority amount of time. Like, is you like see yourself doing online training like most of that, or like you want to open like an actual like physical building and whatnot, like, or is that just kind of like something you're working on now?
No, I mean, I don't want to talk about too much shit. I mean,
Oh, that's fine.
I definitely have a lot of like, I have a lot of things that I want to do with DAC even outside of training.
Yeah.
Um, but like right now, training is what I'm doing, and that is what I'm working on building and expanding. So
Yeah.
what's currently in front of me right now is getting like I have 2 people that I'm training to be able to take on clientele. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a long process because
Yeah.
I mean, one of the guys that have been going through with it, he's been going for like 6 months. And like
Mm-hmm.
because there's actual material that I'm taking him through. There's concepts that he needs to understand, or that the people that I'm training to understand if I'm going to hand them off people that are dealing with injuries and dealing with that type of stuff. So that's
Yeah.
like step one is I'm not gonna say like it's not like replacing myself, but it's
You have bigger reach.
like when you're first starting a business, because this was me. I was like, I didn't even think, and I still don't necessarily think about it as a business. Like it is a business, but I wanted to train hard. I wanted to be able to pass it on to other people. Like that's what it started. That's what it still is.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, when it grows, if you do well, it gets to a point where it's like there are like more people asking than what you can personally provide, and so then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what actually happens at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where like the process for me right now is continuing to train and work with the people that I have, continuing to grow it. But at the same time, I'm now working on basically taking other people through my own like thoughts, concepts, ideas that is in like on a piece of paper and that allows them to understand so that they can basically take it and understand it in their own frame and then be able to use it. Because
You'll apply it.
like at some point for me, if I want to be able to get out the information to more people, that has to happen. It can't just be me. If it's
Yeah.
just me, like there's 24 hours. Like you
Mm-hmm.
could go 24 hours straight and still have work left over. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, man,
Yeah.
so at some point, if it does well, like there's a need to be able to communicate to other people what it is that you do, how you think, so that they can start to implement that as well. Otherwise it just like stops. So that's the process that I'm in right now. And, Yeah, I mean, like beyond that, I would not be, like I said, I would not be opposed to have a in person, like a physical facility. That's not
Yeah.
necessarily at the front of my mind right now. It's more
Hmm.
of expanding the remote side of things.
Yeah.
Um,
Expanding your ideas and like what you bring to the table and whatnot.
yeah, and then there's other areas that I'm interested in as well outside of like training, but those will come once the training is more like solidified there in place. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
Cool. Cool. And I love reading all your writing too. I love how you write. I love the style that you write with. Like reading, when you had that deal where it was like buy one program and then you gave out like fucking like all of them. Like I
yeah.
made sure to get on that, and I just like I love reading all your writing. What I like how you think and how you process. Is that something that you had to grow into, or did you kind of always have a knack for like being able to convey your thoughts and like how you go about like processing things on your own?
That's a great question. Um, I think a little bit of both. So what I will say is like I was always fairly good at. I mean, all I think is in school I would write essays and I was always good at writing it. Like that was easy for me. Just
Yeah.
communicating things was fairly easy. But at the same time, I've also been doing some version of what I do now in terms of writing since I was in like eighth or ninth grade. Like I was writing on forums of this is what I'm doing for training and like feedback and all that different type of stuff. So I started that in
Mhm.
eighth grade. I've pretty much been doing some version of that for the past, 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a combination of was decent at the start and then have gotten better and have found my voice more because you won't at the start there will be for me there's all these ideas that I had in my head. I was like, these are great ideas, right? And
Yeah.
then you actually attempt to communicate them either through writing or through speech, and it doesn't hit. And
Yeah. Like that's not it.
you're just like, have this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it takes time, it takes practice to actually
Yeah.
be able
To
to
refine it.
something and get to what it is that you actually want to say. Like
Yeah.
literally, it's funny because it made me think the call that I was on before this was he was a kid. Uh, there's a dude who's just like he asked me how I get what I get out of slow lowers, like how I go so long. And I started asking him like, well, why do you do it? And he's like, for an exercise for my elbow. It just like kept on digging at deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper levels.
Yeah.
It's like that's almost an aspect of an individual ability to communicate with themselves, understand who it is
Like
that they
can they
are.
go deeper and deeper and deeper?
Yeah, like okay, you want to train to train, but like what is the point? And just keep on
Yeah.
going there, and then you'll be able to get more clarity on who it is that you are, what it is that you're doing, and then the same comes true to communicating to other people about your ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that. I think that's why I like reading so much is because sometimes when you can't quite get there and then you read it out and someone else has like had that same thought process or whatever, you're like, wow, like that hits. Like that's what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to convey. And then the fact
yeah.
that they were able to put this like that, I think that's
But then
cool.
also understand like the person that you read that from probably said it 100 or 1,000 times wrong or not exactly correct before that.
Yeah.
The practice that allows that person to communicate in that well. So if you want to be able to communicate like that, then it takes the practice for yourself.
Yeah, you gotta do it. It's reps on reps on reps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I love hearing someone else similar minded like go through all this because I think like when I try to write, try to do that stuff, like people like my roommate thinks I'm like nuts. He's like I don't understand why like you're always trying to like dig a little more, like trying to like itch, like squeeze everything out. And I'm like, well, I don't really think of like because he sees what I do. Like I try to have a healthy lifestyle. I want to like get into whatever and whatnot. He's like, dude, like we're in college. He's like eating pizzas all the time. He's like, why do you care so much? Like, what, I don't like whatever. He's like, why do you always like try to? It's like, why is this never enough? Why can't you ever stop? Like for me, it's like that. He's like, how are you never like tired? It's like that infinite motor. It's like it's. I like how you talk about friction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like when that I look that probably that you talking about friction and the brick wall where it's like the only way through something is like fucking slam your head like right through it. Like you have to go like, directly through like it's all in your head. The idea that it's existential isn't true. Like you just to go right through the fucking brick wall. It's like that and how you talk about friction. I love all that stuff. Love it. But like for me it's like that friction stuff just clicked. It's like, oh my god, like that yeah, it's like less friction, blah blah, same thing as everything, and then you like get into like the science and stuff and how everything just flows. It's just like I just love that, and I love I feel like just blazing at this point, but I just like I really do like your work, and I think it's very
No, but
inspiring and whatnot.
yeah, like the friction part and the energy part is important, I think, to get
Yeah,
across because,
you have to.
yeah, exactly. Because you don't realize it. I didn't realize it until I started to see specific things. Whereas something as simple as a choice in food, right?
Mm,
If there's friction in the choice of food of I want to eat good or I want to eat bad, that is friction that slows you down. If there's a conversation that I haven't had with somebody, that then takes up space in my awareness or in my mind, and that
yeah,
then causes friction, which then causes me to make decisions slightly less quick because I have less of my attention in present time. I have a little bit of attention out there. If I
yeah,
can start to pick those things off of like, okay, I'm making this decision the way that I want to do
yeah.
it.
It was
A
trimming
little,
the tree.
exactly, a little bit of attention back. I had that conversation, a little bit of attention back. Get
Hmm.
all those little pieces figured out. So then like everything that you have can be directed in where it is that you're going. And then you will have more energy because your energy isn't being sucked off into these things that you
Yeah,
have to address or handle.
yeah. No, I love that concept, and that's always it's so helpful for me now. It's like knowing that, being able to say it, being able to see it in my own environment and whatnot. It's like that. Just like if more people got that, oh man,
Yeah.
I can't even
I know.
imagine what it'd be like. But yeah, I love all that. And then what else did I write down here? I tried to throw together some quickly. Mm, oh, this is cool. What are like? Do you like deal with like? Do you have people like reach out to you and like not quite understand what you're doing? Like, what are the misconceptions that people have and like how you train and like what you're trying to do with DAC and your performance side of things and all the impulses, slow lowers, and just like your different approach to training? Like, do you run
Yeah.
into people who have a lot of misconceptions and like when they start with you or something?
I would say, I don't know if it's a misconception, but I would say the biggest issue is, what's the biggest issue? It's like not thinking that it can be like half dipped into and thinking that, both ends can be done. What's the best way to say it? It's like thinking that, I don't know, that you can still go into like this other world of like traditional like PT and that type of stuff, and then also execute on the principles that I think with. Like thinking that both of those work, it's like a misunderstanding that they're actually different things,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Okay.
right? Because
Yeah.
what happens is like, let's say I'll just take myself. Let's say I'm working with myself, but then I'm also working with a PT, right?
Mhm.
And I'm around coaches and teammates, and I go to the PT and I go to the coaches and teammates, and what I hear from them is you shouldn't be doing it this early. Hanging 6 months or 6 weeks after a labor surgery is bad for you. You're going to stretch out your ligament. You're going to do all these different things. That, whether I know it or not, whether I'm aware or not, like that idea is now here. But then
Yeah.
I also have like, okay, now you're working with me and I'm like, listen to your body. We want to provide some stimulus to it because we need to let it know that it needs to adapt. We're not going to go anything that sucks or that's too bad, but we want to be able to do this, right?
Yeah.
They're actually opposing viewpoints.
Yeah.
So what happens is that will, like we talked about the friction before, that will cause friction as compared to someone that's like has done the research beforehand, knows exactly what it is, has gone through all the content and material, and they're like, this is what the fuck is right, and this actually works. And I
Yeah.
don't feel the need to have to be like, I'm going to go to PT twice a week just to check that box off. And
Just so
then,
I can do dead bugs and put my arm up against the wall and
yeah,
bullshit.
exactly. It's like if, and it's probably also partly on me for not fully communicating it. And there's just people are at different levels of the gradient, right? But it's like,
Yeah.
if you actually understand the way that I operate, there's an actual technology to this. I'm not guessing, like there's a way that it works.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what I'm always looking to get to is like, what is the natural law of it? It happens every single time. Like if I smack my thumb with a hammer, it's going to hurt every single time. There is no time where it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt unless I've just lost feeling there. If I drop an apple, it's going to fall. Like that is the truth. And so
Yeah.
that's what I want to operate on. And
Hmm.
if you're trying to go off like these arbitraries that are set in PT of like 6 weeks, this happens, 8 weeks, this happens. It just, they're opposing viewpoints and that can cause friction in that process.
Yeah. 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 Do you, when you work, like, cause like people obviously like define you, like your bigger presence online. I don't know like how you do your marketing and whatnot, but do most people come to you from social media and like have an idea of like what, like, I would assume they have an idea of what they're getting into by like signing up and like wanting to like pursue and like give you a shot to like help them and whatnot. But, like, do you think those ideas really get in people's way of like the faster track to recovery? Like, do those create a lot of friction in their recovery?
Yeah, well,
Like, is that something you
it,
see every single client? Like, is it kind of like peeling
not every
back like,
single one, right? Because everyone's on a gradient. Like every individual client is on a gradient, and
yeah.
so it's just the more that individual has peeled back in terms of kind of like understanding it in full,
Mm-hmm.
generally the more they can put themselves into into the process, and then the better it goes for them. It's like if I compare myself, like the wrist injury that I had a while ago where I fell off the brick and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what I did, but it was pretty significant, right?
Yeah.
The rehab for that probably shouldn't have been under 60 days, but it was. But that's
Yeah.
because like I had zero thought of going to get it checked by a doctor. Like I knew what it was that I was going to do. I knew what it was of how I was going to do it, and I fully trusted that. So there's not the friction that's in the way of that. That compared to, let's say, an individual has maybe seen, 5 posts and heard about something from a friend and then starts up for training. They don't have that same,
That's not how
clarity.
they go about things.
Right, exactly. So then there's going to be more in the way in terms of how they actually invest themselves into it. And so there's
Yeah.
definitely going to be a longer time, or there can be a longer time frame in how that individual goes, how long they take to rehab something. Because it's almost like they could get in their own way, or some piece of knowledge or data that they have can get in the way of it.
In the way.
Exactly. Whereas if there's nothing in the way, you can allow the body to actually go at the speed that it's designed to go at.
Yeah. I think right around the time that you injured your wrist or whatever, I like kind of tweaked my groin sprinting, and it wasn't even like I never like I don't really I'm fortunate enough I haven't really dealt with any injuries like this, but I was like, wow, like, this sucks, like this whatever, and I
Yeah.
was just kind of copying what you were doing with your wrist, just with that, and I was just doing like a million leg raises, a million everything, whatever, and then what do you know, like 2 weeks later I'm back at it. It probably wasn't even that bad, but it was just cool. Like I don't know, you want to sort through your own issues, want to be a capable human and like just be a fucking animal, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like to not need, to not like when something pops up to be like, I gotta go get this checked out. Like I don't know how, like, I don't really necessarily trust. I don't want to say that I don't trust another person, but I'm like, I better know what the fuck I'm doing before I
No,
ask.
yeah, it's like, yeah, with
That can't handle it themselves. Like, what I'm not
yeah.
gonna.
And I think just, I don't know, like being in like school and whatnot, and like seeing, like being around people, like I have friends that do want to like go med school and like do all the whatever, and just kind of like seeing what academia is all about. You're like, bro, like, it's just like everyone's got it's like you get your doctorate, you got a checklist, and you're just like playing and matching your game. It's like not even like they're so like, the onion has so many layers at this point. It's like, dude, like I can't even imagine having to peel back all that, It's like, it's pretty crazy to think like that's like what most of like, that's like what at its root society is like at like healthcare wise. It's like, dude, like these people don't even like friction. They don't even like really like grasp, like, I don't know. It's just, it's crazy to see. It's crazy to like kind of like coming of age and like seeing these things and whatnot, and just, I don't even know if what I said even like so vague and broad, but like I don't know. It's nuts. It's just nuts.
No. The education doesn't work.
Yeah, it is. It's just, it's not a.
It doesn't work. It's not real. It's not real. Like it's just. I don't want to go. Like,
No, yeah, I know.
Like, on the rebel. I gotta go to the next dude here because it's like 5
Yeah,
minutes. But it's yeah. Let's maybe a conversation for another time.
for sure, for sure. Hey, I really appreciate your time. I love what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
Best of luck to you.
Good conversation. You too.
Yeah, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Peace.